welcome. This is James with Splat Sports, and you're watching the inaugural episode of Ball Knowers, a new show hosted by yours truly. We're going to be sports talk. We're going to have guests. We're going to make picks. We're going to have fun, and I'm really excited for what we have to show. I mean, a lot of stuff has gone into this, so yeah, let's just hop right into it. We're going to talk about some of last week's biggest games, college football playoffs, NFL playoffs, some couple big basketball games going on. A lot of moving parts in the sports season. This is definitely one of the busiest times of the year, this January, December time. But yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with Ohio State, dominant win against Texas, 28-14. Send them to the college football playoff. Two running backs, Henderson and Judkins, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, played really, really good. I think Henderson had over 100 yards of scrimmage. They combined for 3 of the 4 touchdowns. And we all saw that check down, the 75-yard check down out of Henderson that Will Howard dumped to him right before half. I would argue that's probably the biggest play of college football playoffs so far, because that solidified the lead going into half, or they might have been tied at half. It doesn't matter. That was instrumental in the momentum shift. I mean, you go into half with that big touchdown. That changes kind of the mindset, especially with that little amount of time. Like Texas going into halftime was thinking, oh yeah, we're chilling. We come out here, we play the game that we need to play. We're just as in this as they are. But when they got that touchdown, that just shifted kind of the gears, the mindsets. And then Notre Dame's defense played a huge part in their winning against Penn State. I mean, neither offense looked too special. I'm going to be honest. Neither offense looked great. I was really high on Jeremiah Love, and it was all right. I'm a little worried about him this upcoming week. But when the defense is able to make stops, make plays, calls a fumble on Gunnar Stockton, and help, they score the field goal, then they score another touchdown, and then they come back and run it back, special teams for a touchdown, that is huge. That's the game-changing plays that we're talking about. And when they're scoring, how many points? That's 17 points in like 2 minutes. I mean, talk about something that can switch a game. If that Travion Henderson touchdown was not one of the biggest plays, I would argue that fumble recovery against Gunnar Stockton that the Notre Dame defense forced was one of the biggest. I'm also really high on Marcus Freeman. I know Brian Kelly has been talking. I know he's on the Twitters. He's saying, I could have easily done that. I could have, easily, but I wanted to go SEC. No, you couldn't have. You went to the college football playoff. I remember you getting blown out by Nick Saban-led Alabama multiple times. You weren't that good, pal. It would be best if you just were silent. And yeah, none of those guys were any of your guys. So I'm really big on Marcus Freeman. I think he is changing the culture there. And also, I think he made me realize that I didn't hate Notre Dame. I hated the coach. I hated Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly sucks. But no, Marcus Freeman, it's the little things. It's like being there on time, bringing back the mass of 4 games. I like the bagpipe band. He looks clean with 3-piece suits. He has a loving wife and a child. Like, he embodies that fighting Irish spirit. And it's going to be interesting. He's playing his alma mater. He went to Ohio State. He played football there. It's going to be interesting. I also think it'll be fun to see how that O-line or D-line for Ohio State can attack Riley Leonard, force him into situations he doesn't want to be in. They are phenomenal. That Sawyer kid, Jack Sawyer, hate him as a Michigan fan, hate him. But heck of a play he made, that forced fumble to seal the game against Texas. Huge play. And they were able to shut down Blue and the other Texas running backs. That they're going to have to shut down Love. They're going to have to shut down any chance that Riley Leonard has if they want to win this game. It starts on the defense side of the ball. If you can put your offense in good positions, you can win that game, because the Ohio State offense is, quite frankly, more talented. It also will be interesting is they were calling for Ryan Day's job, the Ohio State people, after he lost to Michigan, rightfully so. You should not be losing 4 in a row, especially to the worst Michigan team I think I've ever seen. Maybe not. But you don't lose 4 in a row to your rival when you are supposed to be one of the top teams in the country. But I think he learned his lesson. I think he got his ego a little hurt that Michigan game. And I think he was able to change up his offense a little bit and, make smarter decisions. And they're going to need him to be the smartest he's ever been if they want to win this national championship. They are, quite frankly, the more talented team. But we've seen where talent doesn't work hard, then hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. We've seen that hard work not be able to play, or that talent not be able to play out, and that hard work beat them. Like Michigan. Michigan took it personal, as Isaiah Thomas would say. He took it personal. Or was that Michael Jordan? I don't remember. It was one of those two Last Dance reference. Yeah, but Ryan Day is going to need to be phenomenal coaching because Marcus Freeman is just as good of a coach. In college basketball, though, the state of Mississippi, I'm going to be honest, is kind of shaking things up. Mississippi State started out hot. Only one loss to Butler, I believe. Yeah, Butler. They dominate Memphis in the Forum. They're looking good. They dominate South Carolina at home. That's at least a Q2 win. But then the Kentucky loss was fine. Kentucky shot 50% from three. Best they've shot all season. Best they probably will shoot all season. Mississippi State lost by 5. Plenty fine. But then they get blown out at Auburn by 22 without Broome. Jan says he's confident in Josh Hubbard. He's in quite the slump right now. He has struggled. But Jan says that's one of the guys he can trust most that he's ever coached. And so I think it will be interesting. On the other hand, in Mississippi, we also have Jackson State, who has one really good player. They're undefeated in SWAC play. We also have Southern Miss, Mississippi Valley. They're fun to watch. Follow them on Instagram. I think it's somewhere out there. They're hilarious. But down up north, you got Oxford, Mississippi. Chris Beard. He's looking good. He's looking good for the Ole Miss Rebels. I'm not even gonna lie. Undefeated in conference play, picked up a massive win against Bama on the road on Tuesday night. I believe it was their first top 5 win in program history. I think they were 0-34 before that. Now they're 1-34. So it's going to be a big top 25 matchup in Starkville, Mississippi this weekend. It will determine SEC play. It will determine the rankings. It will determine a lot. It will determine how kind of the mindset for the rest of the season is. Both these teams are tournament teams. Both teams think that they can go deep. And honestly, who's to tell them that they're wrong? Both teams can go deep. We also saw 2 of the top women's teams go head-to-head. South Carolina and Dawn Staley playing Vic Schaefer in Texas in Columbia, South Carolina. South Carolina dominated like a lot of people thought they would. 67-50 against another top 10 team. That is just insane. That's their fourth top 10 win this season. Texas was number 5. Their only loss, I believe, this season is against number 5 UCLA. They were number 5 at the time. I have no clue what they're ranked right now. But yeah, no, they will definitely make another deep push come March. NFL had us intrigued with another weekend of playoff football, and then another weekend on the verge. Justin Herbert just collapsed, throwing 4 INTs. Vlad McConkey, though, right under 200 yards, touchdown, solid performance from the rookie. Definitely someone to look out for. He's looking like one of Justin Herbert's favorite targets. Texans just walked past the Chargers. They're now facing the top-seeded Chiefs in Kansas City in Arrowhead. Should be interesting what Andy Reid has up his sleeve. We also get Dan Campbell versus Dan Quinn. Lions versus Commanders. Commanders squeaked by the Bucks with a last-second doink field goal. That was really rooting for Baker. But I expect Dan Campbell to humble Jaden Daniels, especially with it in Detroit. Those fans are ruthless. Those fans are hungry. Some might even call them starving. Detroit fans want playoff success. They've never won a Super Bowl. And this is the best team in the Super Bowl era. I think they fully embody the Dan Campbell saying, if you get knocked down, get up and on the way, bite a kneecap. Detroit is fully behind this team. Quite possibly the best team. We'll see. Since Super Bowl era. Also have Baltimore versus Buffalo, 2 MVP candidates in not Justin Herbert or Justin Jefferson. Sorry, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. It's going to be absolute cinema. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be absolute cinema. But you got to remember, Lamar doesn't have the best track record when it comes to playoffs. But no, I think we'll be seeing another Bills Chiefs AFC Championship game. Also, fully expect the Rams to shock people in Philly. This Philly team looks shaky. And let's get real quick. Jalen Hurts ain't that special. If I'm being honest, I don't think either of these NFC East teams are great. I mean, the Commanders lost to the Cowboys once and then narrowly beat them another time. And then this Philly team, I mean, one of the best O-lines in the country. One of the top receiving corps. A.J. Brown and Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith. And you have Dallas Goedert. And probably the best running back in the NFL right now. And Jalen Hurts is still only thrown for 131 yards on 13 to 21. Nick Sirianni, just feed Saquon for us, please. Feed Saquon, pray for the best, and don't bite anyone's kneecap. Now we have our big news segment. The Dallas Cowboys got rid of Mike McCarthy. Did they do it the right way? Absolutely not. You should have cut him when you could instead of waiting it out. Now, might have been a money issue. But I was really high on Ben Johnson, the Lions offense coordinator. And you could have interviewed him during that week that the Lions had off. But no, you waited it out with Mike McCarthy. You also didn't allow Mike McCarthy to go see the Bears. That's Bush League, Jerry Jones. Come on now. Bush League. While I'm pulling this out, Body Armor. My drink of choice is Body Armor. Body Armor, please sponsor us. This is not a sponsored thing. I just genuinely love me some Body Armor. Let's take a sip. Fantastic. However, Cowboys have requested an interview with Kellen Moore. Apparently, Prime Time's name is circling around. He did say he was committed to his recruits in Colorado, but him and Jerry have apparently talked about the issue. There's also Robert Saleh. I think when they're going to interview him, it's more of a, hey, are you willing to fill in that defense coordinator position? That way they can keep that 4-3 defense. But I don't understand why we would go after Kellen Moore, an offense coordinator who we fired, who then went to the Chargers and then got fired from the Chargers and is now at our divisional rival, the Eagles. I don't see the point in hiring him if we fired him, if he couldn't be a competent offense coordinator. I do understand he has a really good relationship with Dak. He understands, Dallas, but he kind of seems like a pushover. Now, I also don't love Jason Witten. He does know the culture as well, but he doesn't have much experience. He was a high school coach. How is that going to transition into the NFL? I'm not sure. I have a lock for the Dallas Cowboys coaching position later on in the episode. Also, prayers up for Coach Jim Harbaugh. He is near and dear to my heart, but he is undergoing heart surgery to fix an irregular beat as well as hip surgery. So yeah, just want him to be okay. Thunder's Cavs rematch tonight, and originally I was going to film this episode before, but my goodness, did the Thunder dominate? Absolutely dominated. But prayers up for Harbaugh. The Australian Open is also going on right now, and this is my guy Novak Djokovic's tourney historically, and I fully expect him to make the semifinal. I know he's old. I know he's getting up there, whatever. But, I fully expect him to sneak into, maybe sneak into the semis. Maybe. Quite possibly. Really high on him. But yeah, just got a notification. The Oilers are tied up. Connor McDavid knocked one in. Good. He's having a great season. Him and Nathan McKinnon, two of the top point getters this season. Now we're going to move on to a new segment that I am super excited for, called the Saul and Wogep, we'll call it. Pretty much our Saul is our stud athlete of the week. Maybe not the person that had the best performance. Maybe just a guy that was an athlete. So we'll transition into that. Our stud athlete of the week. We have a couple nominees. We'll start with Russell Westbrook. Westbrook, since January 7th, their game versus Celtics, he's averaged 19.5 points, 7.7 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and a block per game. We might be witnessing prime Russ again. He helped the Nuggets go 4-2 with their only losses, I believe, to the Celtics and the Rockets. Two teams in my top 5. Nico Collins as well. While I wasn't happy with CJ Stroud's performance, Nico Collins, holy smokes, 122 yards on 7 catches from 8 targets and a touchdown. I would have Lad McConkey up here. They did lose the game, and part of it is, I want to see a winner. I want winners. You don't win the stud athlete of the week unless you're a winner. LA firefighters and first responders, thank you for your service. They get a shout out this week as one of our Sol nominees. Thank you for all you're doing for this country. Thank you for being there for the wildfire victims. Thank you for trying to mitigate, the issue. Just wanted to thank them and all that they do. Next, we have Will Howard, who led Ohio State to a championship. I think the last Ohio State QB to do that was Justin Fields way back when. But the crazy thing was that not in his hand. I wish I had a picture for y'all. Look up Will Howard, not Texas game. Just huge knot in his hand. He was playing through it. That's an athlete. That's what gets you on the stud athlete of the week podium. Next, we have Keaton Wallace. Keaton Wallace, an Atlanta Hawk, made the list. Keaton Wallace, a G League guy, popped off this past Tuesday night, leading the Hawks against the Bulls with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 steals. A G League guy leading the Hawks over the 10th seeded Bulls on the road in Chicago. We know Chicago is not an easy place to play. But also, the Hawks are missing Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, and number 1 overall pick, Zachary Ricochet. This kid was averaging 4.6 points per game before this game, and he's bumped it up to 6 or something points. 16-point win against the Bulls, too, on the road. That's an athlete right there. That's what one might call a stud athlete of the week. But I think after looking at all of it, I think our first official stud athlete of the week goes to Russell Westbrook. We are seeing prime Russ. He got at least 1 double-double, if not 2, and 1 triple-double. Well, I guess that means 2 double-doubles. Yeah, Russell Westbrook, our first stud athlete on the week on the Ball Knowers Show, hosted by James Chapman. Now, our WAG Geb, new award. You're going to have your stud athletes of the week. You're going to have the guys that pop off, give you everything they got. Will Howard, not in his hand, leading Ohio State to victory. Russell Westbrook, washed. Russell Westbrook, no. Triple-double, man. Keaton Wallace. You ever heard that name before? G League Sky Something Hawks. Dropping near 30 points. 4 steals. Almost a triple-double with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. But he was getting 0 time. Only played 16 games this season. This was number 17. And playing like he's a vet out there. Holy smokes. But our WAG Geb is for our What on God's Green Earth performance. It's a head scratcher. What are you doing out there? It's a Tony Snell, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. It's that type of performance. It's one that makes you go, I should be on the field over these guys. So our first and only nominee this past week is Penn State wide receivers. What happened? 0 catches for 0 yards and a grand total of 0 touchdowns. Talk about Tony Snell numbers. Cooper, Cup running, cardio out there. What are we doing? It's a college football playoff semifinal. What is wrong with you? James Franklin, Drew Alar. What is wrong with you? I know the run game was doing great, but seriously, you're in the semis. You're in the semis. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? You get our inaugural WAG Geb. Or what on God's green earth performance goes to Penn State athletes. Goes to specifically those athletes that play wide receiver. Next, we have our highlight of the week. I know it was a little over a week ago. I'm still in awe of it. It's that Trae Young buzzer beater against the Jazz. I'll let y'all see it now.
Utah starts the movement. Collier. It's deflected by Daniels. Sexton for the tie. Oh! Hawks don't have a timeout. Trae from midcourt to win it. Yes! He hit it! He hit it! Trae Young hits a three at the buzzer.
Trae Young!
Atlanta wins the game.
My. Whoa, Trae Young!
Can you believe that?
And wow. I mean, you thought the Jazz just drilled a three. Dyson Daniels did get a deflection. But the Jazz drilled a three. It's going in OT. Trae said, hold my drink. Let me make this real quick. Boy, did he make it. Great finish to the game. Now we're going to review some of the AP polls, some of my own power rankings. Let's look at this AP poll. It came out this Monday for college basketball. A lot of things I like on this list. Auburn, number one. Love that. Florida over Tennessee after a dominant win. Absolutely. Auburn showed when they played Mississippi State, even without Broome, why they're the number one team in the country. Baylor at 25 looked a little shaky. Ole Miss will jump this week. If they beat Mississippi State in Starkville, that's 2 quad 1 top 25 wins in the same week. They might jump to 12 or higher. Mississippi State, though, with a loss, Gonzaga playing Thursday night. Michigan losing to Minnesota. Lost to Minnesota. Memphis losing to whatever the John they are. The Temple Owls. I understand it was a road game. But what the John? Can't be losing on the road. Can't just be doing that. Oh. Kentucky at 8. They'll probably jump. Marquette, I believe, lost this week. College basketball is an interesting sport. But the AP poll, I mostly agree about. Mostly agree. I think some new names will show up next week. I think some names will drop. It's cool, though. It's good. It's good for the culture. Anyway, here is my NBA power ranking. Don't have much to say. Thunder proved tonight why they are number one. I made this before that as well. Celtics at number 2, best team in the East. Cavs dropped to 3. Nuggets looking dominant. And the Rockets at number 5. Not much to say about this list. I think it's a fair ranking. Also like the retro logos. You're welcome. I think the Nuggets will be good come playoff time. Cavs with one of the best records yet cannot finish the job against the Thunder. Celtics still pretty dominant. And the Rockets, a lot of depth on that team. And here are my power rankings for the remaining NFL teams. I know that a little controversial maybe, but the Chiefs will get calls thrown their way. They have lost one game this season. Probably should have lost the first game to the Lions. Lions number 2, best team in the NFC. Honestly, I think it will be. I really hope that they play the Rams in the next round. Matthew Stafford homecoming would be awesome. Bills, Ravens, kind of could flip-flop them. They're right there. They're playing each other. I think I just have the Bills higher because they're playing at home. Rams, think way more highly of them compared to the Eagles. Not high on the Eagles. Texans having to go to the Chiefs. And then Commanders did not look great. Going to play the Lions in Detroit. I think that list is pretty self-explanatory. You could argue Buffalo, Baltimore, maybe a touch. That game. Sure. Flip them if you want. Don't flip them if you want. It's all cool. Next, we're going to have J Chap's Locks of the Week. Have a couple serious ones, a couple of fun ones, just kind of here to talk. It's kind of the whole goal. Anyway, a couple of locks for this week, starting with Chiefsaholic breaking news before the Super Bowl. I think that's a lock. Chiefsaholic, if you don't know, is a notorious super fan of the Chiefs. He would schedule bank robberies to go hand in hand with Chiefs away games. He bought his tickets using those the stolen money. And yeah, if the Chiefs were playing in Houston, he would schedule a bank robbery in Houston, then go to the game. Kept himself anonymous by wearing a wolf mask. Kind of ingenious, but I expect some news before the Super Bowl about him. Also expect something wrong or something weird to happen at the inauguration. Last time we had an inauguration, we got the famous Bernie Sanders sitting in a chair meme. I also think the Cowboys will do something downright dumb with the coaching hire. I do not like it, all being in Jerry's hands. I think Kyrie Irving will have some more breaking news off court instead of on court. A little splashed a little bit in the news this week. And then last kind of fun lock of the week is the TikTok ban will either be pushed back or someone will buy it. I genuinely don't think it will go away this easily. I think they will put up a fight. I think something will happen. Now when it comes to real locks, Chiefs money line is a lock. Detroit versus Washington over is a lock. Neither of those coaches are going to punt. Just going to give you the heads up. Both those coaches, massive egos, massive set of balls on them. Neither of them will punt. They will go for it. Jane Downs will be throwing it out. Jared Goff will be throwing it out. Jahmyr Gibbs will get a touchdown. It's not one of my locks, so my last lock. Russell Westbrook, anytime triple-double between now and the next episode is a big fat lock. Write them all in. Keep the receipts. All locks. All locks. And then finally, we have our last segment on the show. We have this week's top 5. I'll be doing a top 5 from a random category every week. And when I have a guest, we will do a draft of the top 5. This week's top 5 is top 5 chocolates. Chocolate candy, chocolate bar. You know the drill. Anyway, number 1, a little bit of a flyer. Kind of flies under the radar. It's Cadbury Cream Egg. These things, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Come around during Easter. Chocolate egg. That silky, smooth cream inside. Does not get much better than that. Number 2, M&M's, but not just any M&M's. Peanut butter M&M's. If you've never had it, please go try it. I'm a big fan of M&M's. I like the caramel ones. I like the plain ones. I remember when they used to have the pretzel ones. Not a big fan of the mocha ones, the coffee ones. The espresso ones. Not a big fan. But the peanut butter ones. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those hit the spots. Number 3, a classic. A Twix bar. Twix, you get 2 of them. It's that cookie inside with the caramel, and you bite into it, and the caramel kind of pulls you. Woo! And then the little fun size ones. Oh my. Give me a Twix at 3. At 4, another kind of an under the radar, kind of your 6th man, kind of your glue guy. It's a Crunch bar. A lot of people, it's kind of underrated. But give me a Crunch bar. Oh my, we are living good. That crunchy, the crispy Rice crispy stuff in it. Just gives that. Love it. Then at 5, the Reese's, a classic, an instrumental player in the chocolate game. You can't go wrong with the Reese's. Now, there's a lot of debate on, do you like pumpkin Reese's? Do you like the egg Reese's? Do you like the normal Reese's? Honestly, the egg ones probably have the best ratio of chocolate to peanut butter. My only problem with Reese's that puts them at the 5 is I don't get a lot in one package. I only get 2. It's not filling. I need something that can fill me up, and that's just not it. just not quite it. But yeah, no, that's the show. Told you, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of talking, some picks here, some polls here, some power rankings there. Got some news on the bottom as well. A little bit of soccer, a little bit of hockey, a little bit of football, a little bit of everything. But I hope you enjoyed your time here. As always, Body Armor, please sponsor us. Jesus loves you. Have a great rest of your day, wherever you're watching. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you, Splat Sports, for the opportunity. I will see y'all next week.